back up in this thing, ready to get some on that wax.
Another session with the BrosTalk, where the beer's ice cold. BrosTalk. Another session with the BrosTalk. Come and tell us what you know. BrosTalk.
Yo, what up world, what up peoples and tweeples out there? It's your boy T Broski. My main man King Dano might be coming in a little bit later, but
Who knows?
since we're here, BrosTalk. Hey man, we got the homie, the player, the fella, the friend, the brother.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Shit, nothing, man. Well, I won't say nothing, but
Chilling.
yeah,
Sounds about right.
yeah. We about to go on a little vacation, so it's a little stressful trying to
Prep everything.
Yeah, I kind of waited till last minute to do some shit, so
As
you know how
should.
that goes.
As you should. You know what I mean? It only makes the time better. So now you're in a time crunch. I gotta get this has to work.
Yeah,
But you know what's best about that? When it works out flawlessly, it's like exactly how I planned.
it usually works out. I just won't say flawlessly. It's usually a bumpy road to the end, but you know, with a couple hours less sleep than I planned.
It's life.
Because I'll be honest, most of the time, let's say I think I'll be done at 10. I don't finish till 12. It's like, shit, I could go to bed,
But
or I could play FIFA for a little bit.
yeah, sounds about right.
I think that's what I'm going to
Play FIFA.
Stephanie's like, why are you playing?
I want to.
Because it's late. So, yeah, I know you're right, but
It's the best time to do it, too. Kids are asleep. You just chill.
most of the time, I don't start playing games till right about the time that they go to bed.
Yeah. Uninterrupted. Yeah.
Well, that first half hour, because I usually play for like 45 minutes to an hour. And that first 20, 30 minutes, as they're getting to bed, they always got some reason to come out.
Of course. That's kids, man. My kids do the same thing.
Can I get my eye mask? It's like,
Why didn't
hurry
you get
up.
that before?
I don't know why you didn't already. Yeah. Hurry up, go get it. A couple minutes later, she just walks out. What? I forgot. Oh my God, just go to bed. Like, stop getting out of bed.
That should be crazy. That's kids for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's kids though, man.
You gotta love them. You know what I mean? You gotta love them. So we'll jump right into it. Speaking of kids, I don't know, situation with Anthony Edwards, and the female that, you know, it's just a situation, right? So he's obviously a millionaire. He's dating a young lady, or not say dating, but he had relations with a young lady, and she got pregnant. She wants to have the baby. He told her, I don't want to have the baby at all. She still has the baby, and he goes and pretty much signs that, hey man, I don't want no responsibility. I'm giving up all my rights. So with that, there's no child support, can't do nothing. And a lot of people are bashing him. Well, a lot of women are bashing him because of this right here. Him doing that.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Do you think that he's wrong for that? We both got kids. You know what I mean? So like, is he wrong for signing the paperwork? Is he how do you feel about the situation?
I mean, if she agrees to it, then she agrees to it.
She
but
didn't agree to it.
That's what I'm saying. But if she doesn't, then you can't be like, well, I still want it. And it's like, no. You know, I think if it's kind of, you know, one of those things where if she's like, no, I'm going to have a kid and I'm not cool with just you giving up everything or giving up all the rights, you know, and not having to pay anything, like, I'm not cool with that, then you just kind of have to accept that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel like there's you know, it is your kid. Like,
but is he a bad guy because of this? Like, is because he has other kids,
right? Quickly, like October and then December or something like that. Like it was, and supposedly he's got a girlfriend throughout this whole thing. That's what or at least that's what I was reading.
He's a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So like a crazy lifestyle is not that crazy. It's crazy to us, but like being able to afford to okay, just say for instance, he could say, hey, out of my salary, I can give this woman $350,000 a year. She got that's a car, a nice place to stay, time with me. You know what I mean? Like you could set up a life for, and that's just one woman. Now, just say your budget for tricking or whatever is $2 million a year. You know what I'm saying? You got $2 million budget for tricking.
I got $1.7 million to fill right now, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like my budget is crazy. So I could do a lot. Like I could do some things that normal guys probably can't do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like to have multiple girlfriends and kids back to back isn't really for a celebrity, a superstar, a millionaire, an NBA player. I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's like, oh my God, it's.
Oh no, I'm not sitting there like, I can't believe that. But it's just
he's just living a wild life. My problem with the whole situation is, if I said I don't want it, how are you gonna like force me to be involved with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna force me? And then if I do say, hey, I told you I didn't want no parts of it. And and I signed up my parental rights. I'm a bad guy? Because you had an opportunity to change that situation, but you didn't. You chose not to change that situation. We both understand that the finances is not an issue. So it's not like, oh my God, we can't get it. I can get it 1,000 times over, 1,000,000 times over if I wanted to. Right. Yeah. But you didn't. And now you put me in a situation where I gotta play a card that I might not necessarily want to play, but I gotta play it because this is the best card for me in this situation because I never wanted to be in this situation. Mm-hmm. Right. But I will say this, to the counterbalance to that, abortions are getting hard to get, right? They're getting harder and harder to get. Yeah. One. And then one of the rebuttals I heard a lady say was, men act like abortion is something that's just so easy to do. It is easy in the fact of setting up an appointment back when it was open for everybody, set up an appointment, get it done. But
it's so easy depending on the state you're in, I guess you could say, but not so much here.
Yeah, I'm not. When I say ease, I mean it's easy to sign up for. At one point in time, when every state was allowed or wherever, when majority of the states allowed it to be happening, you could just sign up, go get it done, right? Mm-hmm. Versus as a man, we don't get nothing taken from us. We don't know what it makes our body feel like. You know what I'm saying? So that was her argument, is maybe she didn't want to do that and put her body through that. Like if you already have a kid and then to say, hey, I'm going to abort this one is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you already see what you produced. So to take life from yourself and then to destroy it just because the person that you lay down with, because this is another thing. You're fucking raw. This isn't safe sex and like, oh shit, the condom broke. You know what I mean? Like this is, I'm pretty sure you're fucking, ain't no pretty sure, you're fucking raw. And you're not even, this isn't like oops. Bro, you laying up in there. I know, I'm not even going to, the woman that
I know you.
I know you are. That woman, that motherfucker is she fine. Like that's a gorgeous woman, pretty woman. People want her. She's a icon, whatever you want to call it. You get the opportunity to lay. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm pretty sure you laying up in there. Now, whether you expect her to go get a plan B or whatever, maybe the plan B didn't work. I don't know. But a woman still has a choice to choose in that situation. I just think it's fucked up that he's getting bashed for saying I don't want to be involved and then doing the necessary steps to remove himself from that situation. I just think that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To bash him for that right there.
Well, society doesn't really allow men to say I don't want to be involved, whether that's right or wrong.
True.
It's just not really. And you know, some people argue that, you know, it's a little bit of double standard because, you know, women, you know, they can have that decision, but men had if they don't want the baby, they have no choice in it. I don't know.
I mean, it is.
I'm just glad that me personally, like, I've never had to worry about that on a personal level. You know what I mean?
Me either.
And to be honest, it wasn't that difficult to do.
What, to make them or have them or
no, just to like, you know, kind of plan the whole thing. Like, not necessarily plan, but I don't know how to explain it. All right.
I mean, for me, it's I never had to. Nobody's ever came to me and been like, well, I had one situation where a young skeezer, a young lady
Squaw
called and said that she was pregnant. I was like,
that's nice.
17, 18. I was 18, maybe 19 at the time. It wasn't a situation I wanted to be in. She was married. It was like the worst of the worst. Like, and I'm like, man, I immediately cried. Yeah. I don't want this. I don't want this part of my life.
Yeah.
If they would have brought me some paperwork, hey man, just sign this, you won't be involved. There's a good chance that I probably,
where's my copy?
Yeah, I would have probably wanted to do it, but I probably would. I don't know. I just know that having my kids now, I wanted my kids. My kids were to a certain extent planned. Mine is one of them. She was an accident, so to speak. She was a surprise. Let me say, not accident. She was a surprise. But I wanted my kids. We were trying to have a kid. We had one. Okay, now we want to have another one. You know what I mean? So like, it's hard for me to look back on life and be like, I wouldn't have wanted. Like, even now, even if we get pregnant, I don't even want it. I would rather if once we find out you're pregnant, in my mind, you're having that baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a.
Oh, that's an 18-year commitment that just started.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I might be mad, but it's not. Abortion has never been in my mind.
Right.
It's never been like, oh, I got to get rid of this motherfucker. Like, it's never been crossed my mind. So, one, telling a woman what she has to do or can or should do with her body is one part of it. You know what I mean? That's the part where I'm like, I don't know what they said. I don't know what the conversation. I don't know if he told her, hey, get rid of it or whatever. But to try to force a woman to have a child that or to try to force a woman to not have a child because you don't want it, that's one thing, right? To have a conversation about it is another. But I don't think people should get bashed for their personal decisions. But in the same breath, what if you want a baby, she don't, and she goes get an abortion just because she don't want a baby? You know what I mean? Like, is she wrong for that in the same breath?
Where's the guy's choice in it?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But it's her body. It's her choice.
Right. And that's why it's a tough situation. And that's why, like, you know, we can sit here all day and, you know, put our opinions on it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the people in that situation got to make that decision on what exactly they're going to do. And
that's why
I think a lot of people, you know, and me included, a lot of people act differently. You know, I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying there's definitely a chance I may, you know, act differently under, you know, those circumstances. It's like, okay, maybe I did. Maybe I ain't going to do exactly what I thought I would do when I thought of it in my head.
True.
You know, well, just like in that fight when I thought I was going to, you know, and he came from the other side and knocked me out. It's like, that shit did not go as planned. All right.
Waking up, damn, I fucked
What
up.
the fuck happened?
Well, out of
I
that
zigged when I should have
situation,
zagged.
safe sex is a real thing. Practice safe sex, people. It doesn't feel better, but it's a good thing.
No, it's
What is it? Prophylactics or whatever? Prophylactics or what are them shits called? Condoms. What's the big word for them? Contraceptives.
yeah.
Contraceptives. What did I say? Prophylactic.
Prophylactic. I was about to say that's
Ain't that the shit or something? Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Contraceptives and protection is gonna stop a lot of these situations from going on. And speaking of situations going on, we'll jump right into our next topic, which is LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. The whole thing that happened. One, I'll say that Stephen A. is a reporter.
Mhm.
Some might even say entertainer. I wouldn't call him an actor because I think he's been putting out his thought processes for a long time. Now, granted, some of his views may be changed over the years due to his peers or life or situations, but I think that for the most part, you get Stephen A. and you get a authentic, somewhat Stephen A. To a certain extent. I mean, he's on TV, so certain things he may feel he can't speak out on in a certain light.
right.
But
That's what podcasts are for.
he has his own opinion. He has the right to his own opinion.
Of course.
He has the right to feel how he want to feel, say what he want to say, as long as he's not legally what is it like fucking up somebody's character or putting out a false narrative on somebody. Defamation of character. As long as you're not defamating somebody, flat out lying and stuff like that, you're good to go. So his critique on Bronny James is what got LeBron James to approach him during the game or, midway through the game or whatever.
Yeah, like third quarter.
Yeah, third quarter, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure Stephen A. was there the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
it
what I'm
had
saying?
to have been like a thing in the back of his mind, like this
It wasn't in the back of his mind. I think it was one. It bothered him so much he couldn't wait to the end of the game. Because what if this motherfucker get up and leave? You know what I'm
He's
saying?
gonna leave in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like right before the game's even over, and then it's going
right
to
as I'm shooting.
Not even that.
I'm
It's
gonna
going to look. I'm gonna be on the bench. It's really going to look weird for me to walk all the way around there and talk to him. And then people are like, "What is LeBron? He just walked away from the bench." You know what I'm saying? So that part of it is crazy. I'm not gonna say crazy, but LeBron James approaching him in the third quarter or whenever, mid game, whatever part. Do you think he was wrong? And does he need to differentiate between fatherhood and a business thing? Like, because at this point in time, like that's my son, but he's also an NBA player. So he's also my teammate, which is also my partner at work. We're both at work. So he's an employee just like I am, quote unquote. And we work together. So he don't call me Dad running down the court.
Yeah.
He got James 23 or 3, whatever you know what I'm saying? Whatever you call
the fucking
him.
nickname is.
That's what you call him. So does LeBron James need to differentiate between that and fatherhood? Or is he wrong for even charging Stephen A. up for like that?
I mean, I wouldn't. I look at it almost the same way Stephen A. Smith does. Like, he came to him as a father as opposed to a basketball player. And so, like, he understood that. And I feel like I understand that too.
But he was in a uniform on the court as an NBA player, represented the Lakers at that time when you charged me up, talking about another Laker.
Yeah.
Literally, talking about another Laker.
Yeah.
A G League Laker. Nah, that's not a bash. That's not a shot at Bronny. I'm just saying, this is what you're telling me that he came to me as a father, but he came to you. He didn't approach you in gear, like regular old, just He didn't tell you, hey man, meet me in the locker room after this, or you know what I mean, holler at you at the car or whatever. This is on the court. Let me holler at you. So he's not an NBA player. He didn't approach you as an NBA player. I get what Stephen A is saying. I'm just saying on the back end, what are we saying? Like, what are we saying? He is an NBA player, and that's exactly how he approached you as an NBA player, talking about his son, another NBA player.
Yeah, I don't know. So you think it was? I definitely think it was inappropriate. But,
I don't.
Oh no?
Hell no. I support it 100%.
Okay.
You better
try and
keep my son's name out your fucking mouth. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, as a father, I get being upset, but the reason I say leans toward you're at like you said, all those things that you just said for the last like 2 minutes. You're at a basketball game in uniform, middle of the game. You could have said all these things, you didn't. So yeah, it's a little unprofessional, of course, but I'm not saying I don't blame him as a father. I would have done the same thing. But you also got to understand the other point of view. Stephen A. Smith, he's doing his job.
That's what I'm saying. He's a commentator and a reporter.
Like, yeah, his job is to never do that. Commented on LeBron or on Bronny while he was in USC or all that shit. He waited until he got into the NBA. And in my opinion, the only reason that LeBron James said it, whatever team drafts, whoever wants me on their team, draft Bronny.
I'm going to play with you. Yeah.
So like that, I don't know.
I mean, I don't knock LeBron James at all for doing what he did. I think as a father,
that'd be cool as fuck to play with your kid. Like, yeah, I'd be fighting too for it. My thing is, it's a little crazy that just because he's LeBron James, like, it's just like, yeah, all right, well, we'll do that. It's a lot of pull. Which
that's LeBron James
to an extent, I understand.
That's LeBron James too,
but at the same, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it.
That's LeBron James though.
I get it.
It's Michael Jordan, right? And then that's LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing LeBron James is missing is the fire ass sneakers. Like, if he has a sneaker run like Jordan, that right there, even Jordan fans, even Jordan GOAT heads would have to solidify LeBron James as the GOAT.
No. What? You think a sneaker deal is what's separating?
Not a deal. You got to have.
Bro. Yeah, a 20, 30-year lineup.
When LeBron James is sellouts. Man, when LeBron James is 60 years old, he doesn't have the dope ass shoes like Jordan. Jordan is Jordan. There will never be another Michael Jordan ever.
Right.
Like, him, himself, and what he did in the sport, somebody may recreate. Somebody may beat his numbers. Somebody crush the 6 rings, all that shit. But the shoes, the gear, that part of it, like, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, jokingly,
I wonder how much money,
billions,
like, total has been made off of selling
billions,
J's.
Trillions, probably.
I wouldn't doubt it over the years if you're in the trillions.
Are we talking about fakes too? Or are we talking about just straight real J's? Definitely trillions.
I would go with real.
Yeah, definitely billions and trillions. Yeah. I would say billions for sure. I don't know about
trillions. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit $1 trillion, but I would think hundreds of billions.
For sure. Yeah. Do you think Bronny is going to be obviously he's not going to be his dad, right? We can I mean, he's not going to be nowhere near his dad.
That's the bar is a little too high for almost anyone.
Yeah.
Shit, it is too high for anyone. I don't see anyone getting to LeBron James level, or at least on the horizon right now. You know what I mean?
I mean, but when we say level, what are we talking about? The way he competed, his numbers? Because there's people that have the ability to make a run. I don't think that there'll be another LeBron James impactful player, because LeBron James came in where a one-man show, he could do it. Like, it can be done. You could be, and he was good enough.
He was that from the time that
he stepped in.
His kid, before, but his kid was born, and we saw his kid grow all the way up to now he is also in the NBA, and LeBron James can still be that guy sometimes. Now he's a little bit older, he ain't got as much energy, but with Luka there, he can kind of. That's why his defense was up, because he's able to kind of fucking spare some energy for defense instead of spending it all on offense.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I at first I thought it was a mistake bringing in Luka, or at least not necessarily. I don't know. I worried about Luka's chemistry and how much he wanted to be there. You know what I mean? Just because I really think he felt at home in Dallas.
Of course. I mean,
you know
bro.
So I just worried that, you got big all-star and LeBron James, who's been doing it for, 2 decades, been the number one guy, kind of having to not necessarily step down, but step to the side and maybe share the number one position with Luka. And he's been handling it great. But obviously that shit with Stephen A. Smith rubbed him the wrong way. And to be honest, I didn't think what Stephen A. Smith said was that bad until he had a montage of Bronny behind him in the 76ers game.
Yeah.
Of all his fuck ups.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's talking, he's doing stats on him, but they're all bad stats. And he's basically saying, LeBron James, you kind of force your son into this, and you're being a bad dad, is what he was saying. And that's what he's saying this whole argument's really about.
Yeah,
you're forcing your son into something he's not ready for, and you're gonna screw him over.
But
and that's Stephen A. Smith's argument, and LeBron James was like, "Fuck you."
But when you say certain things like "I'm being a bad dad," that's a whole nother ballgame. Now I got to sit up.
Now
and say,
I don't think he said you're being a bad dad.
I'm not saying he said
we'd have
that
to look
either.
up his
I
exact
forget
words,
exactly
but
his I forget.
You
exactly
could tell that's the sentiment that he was getting at. Like,
that's
you're
the way
putting
I
your
took it too.
son in a poor position.
As a father, you wouldn't do this
to gain for yourself,
which is not really. I mean, you got to think about it this way. Bronny, you don't even know how much pressure that his dad is LeBron James, bro.
Well, that's part of his point.
Like, you can't.
There's so much pressure already on him. Why add to it?
LeBron James
him into the Lakers.
No, you. It's not even forcing. Let's be realistic. Let's be 100% realistic. Do you think Bronny's getting drafted 55, 55th without LeBron James being his dad?
No.
Do you think people are checking for Bronny James based off his stats in high school, in college, which we can look up? We can look up Bronny James stats. Do you think that people are checking for him at that? Let me see. Bronny James at USC.
I can tell you they weren't. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because Bronny has actually done almost exactly what you would expect a 55th round pick to do. And actually, he's doing a little bit better from what I've read.
And there's nothing.
I say read because I don't watch too much of the NBA until right about this time of the year, because now is when it starts to get interesting. But yeah, just following stats and stuff. He ain't doing bad, especially in the G League.
No, he can hoop, man. I'm not taking from him, but I'm saying in college he averaged 4.8 points, 2.1 assists, 2.8 rebounds, and 0.8 steals. And he got drafted 55.
Respectfully, if that's me going into the NBA with those stats, I'm not getting drafted.
A lot of people's not. There's guys that have better stats than that and don't make it. His dad got him where he is, right? But he has to live up to. It's like people's not taking his talent and accountability. They're looking at his dad and saying, "You should do that." You know what I'm saying?
That's ridiculous.
And you're not giving, but you're not even. It's like people ain't even giving him a rookie season, a rookie fuck up season. And again, we're not talking about a Derrick Rose out of college. We're not talking about a John Morant out of college. We're not talking about who else was a beast out of college? Blake Griffin. We're not talking about monsters out of college. We're talking about I would say an average, maybe below average college player that somebody look. This is what I think. You still have to look at him and say we can still work with him.
Right. He can't be like me trying out
today, currently.
You know, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired.
Just like damn, this dude is not a shot
at all.
It's like obviously he's talented. Like again, neither one of us trying to take away from that. And like I said, he's it's kind of working out for the Lakers. But I still think it was, like I said, it's just a little crazy to me how much pull he had. And I know a lot of people, will say that, oh no, that's bullshit. LeBron James didn't have anything to do with it. Okay. I don't believe that. Like, I think he definitely had a hand in it.
See, and that's what we talked. Oh man, he said he didn't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, I like when I say I didn't have nothing to do with it. You're asking me, did I sign some paperwork or something?
I didn't write up the papers.
No, I didn't do anything like that. Yeah, no. But I did put out.
I was there when they signed them.
I did say this though. Whoever my son goes and plays for will have me on their team. That's not me saying draft my son. That's me saying I'm willing to go play wherever he's going.
You see that one tweet where he said, "My son's better than half of the people in the league."
Yeah,
but I will say LeBron James don't delete many tweets, and he deleted that one. So I feel like
because of the backlash.
I feel
because it puts his son on the spotlight. Yeah. So somebody to say like Castle or Casper from Castle from San Antonio.
Okay.
He's hooping at a way higher level than Bronny James is. Is Bronny James sorrier player than him? Can Bronny James out hoop him? Maybe in a one-on-one. But Bronny hasn't gained his confidence under the lights yet.
No, he definitely still seems like timid.
Like he's still timid. Like he's scared to fuck up. That's why if you watch, I forget when he first got there, his son was like, Bron told him, hey, just relax. Like, hey man, go out there and have fun. Relax. You know your son. So when he says my son's better than half the people in the league, let's be realistic. LeBron's played damn near everybody in the league.
Yeah.
So when he says my son, he's not making his judgment based off of some bullshit and him, oh, my son's just that good. Hell no. I think he's really genuinely saying it. That Bronny James can shoot. I'm not gonna say he has the best IQ. He's a good defender. He's in good shape, right? I'm looking for stuff. But I don't think he's
got 2 legs.
Yeah, I don't think he's
and walks in an upright position.
I think Bryce is better, right? Yeah. I think Bryce is better than Bronny James. But I think LeBron James has played basketball with other basketball players, and his sons performed at a high level, which makes you say, "Oh, my son is good." I know what he can tap into, if he tap into it. But you just gotta mold it or pull it out of him or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't knock LeBron James for being a father. I don't knock LeBron James for being a passionate teammate, protecting his teammate, fighting for his teammate. But I do. I'm not gonna say I don't respect, but I do wish maybe, like Stephen A. said, you got a way to get in contact with me. We could have had this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
over dinner the phone, or something like that. But maybe
in person at a dinner.
But maybe that's my control too, though. Maybe that's my fence, my net, being there, because I know I'm not gonna punch you. I'm not gonna do nothing crazy. But if we go back here, because it's all based off what somebody else might do. So like me and you may have a problem, and in my head, it's not that big of a deal. So when you come talk to me like, hey man, I didn't like this, and I'm like, man, you fucking tripping. That just ticks you off. You're already like up here. Yeah. So if this motherfucker says anything like he don't care, I'm a snap. You didn't talk yourself into it. Yeah. And that's what I feel like LeBron was at. He hooping and this motherfucker, man. Shit, man. You know what? Fuck this. Hey man, let me talk to you real quick.
Coach, call timeout.
Yeah. Hey man, let me holler at you real quick, man. TV timeout. Let me talk to you real quick. Hey man, what's going? You know what I mean? And that's where Stephen A. What he say? LeBron said he was going. Oh, if you want to fight or something like that. I couldn't really read his mouth, read his lips or nothing like that, but I know he said something about fucking, like, you stop fucking us. You better not be fucking. Something he said something about. I could tell it was aggression,
right?
And curse words were being used.
Hey, how you doing today, bro?
And Stephen A. didn't say nothing. Respectfully, I'm not saying he was scared.
You could definitely tell he was just like,
yeah. That was maybe it was one of the moments where, man, hey man, sometimes you don't poke the bear,
right?
And hey man, what they say, when a bear attacks you, just get in the fetal position.
See, and that's what
maybe that was his fetal position.
According to him, he did say all kinds of shit, but
I didn't see it on tape. But maybe they would have.
But the tape that I saw was like from the back of his head, so I couldn't see like his face. So I don't know if he was talking.
LeBron didn't even look like he was listening to nothing.
From what
it looked like he was saying stuff the whole time. It didn't look like he was like, "No, what you said? No, Like, it looked like he was just talking. It's like, oh, all right, so it ain't.
He just slowly sits back down.
Yeah, this ain't really a conversation, brother. This is me telling you.
Came over here to scold me in front of 80,000 people,
and you gonna take this? Yeah. Get on TV and say some crazy shit.
He said, well, y'all got to remember, I work for Disney, you know, so I wasn't about to start anything. And I said, bro, that's LeBron James. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get that your job is important, but there's two reasons why you didn't start something. And the other one is LeBron James. Like, like that's a big fucking dude.
Huge guy.
So I just...
And he said he just came over, talked to me. You could tell by his face he wasn't playing.
I know someone has to have like a camera right in that area or have audio from there because I just want to hear it.
Because they have 100% LeBron James is mic'd up.
They have two very different versions of what was said.
Who you gonna believe?
To be honest, I don't fucking know. Because LeBron James, he said he walked right up to him and was like, you want to fight right now? And I was like, but it didn't look like you were saying you want to fight. It was saying don't fucking talk about my son is what I was reading. And so I was like,
we don't know when they cut on the camera.
What actually was said, man? We don't. I'm just a curious mind, man.
Can LeBron James fight? I don't know.
So I'd rather not find out, man. That's a big dude to find out.
I mean, I'm not saying like he's like is he just in the locker room? Somebody like, man, I'm pick them shoes up. You know what I'm saying? People like, oh shit, LeBron James.
He's sitting there like, stop.
I don't know. People talk about him flopping, like he's soft or something.
I don't think he's soft for doing it. I just don't like. I don't think he does it because he's scared of contact. I just think I don't like that fucking move, and I think it is soft, but not necessarily because
he's weak.
It's not like he's like, oh my god, don't hit me, oh flop.
Okay.
I just think he's trying to get, he's trying to take advantage of the rules, and I just don't like flopping, so I'm just against it.
Well, the flopping, I was just associating that with motherfuckers might say he's weak or soft or something like that. I just say
that's not what I think.
Not you. I'm just saying in general, but kids, just people, humans may think that LeBron James,
aliens, cats,
all these things, beings may think that LeBron James is whatever, weak or whatever. I'll say this. Just like a mama bear, they get off. Don't get in between a mama and her cubs.
Yeah.
Don't attack a father's family if you don't want to see a different side of that man. So, like, if I feel like you attacked my family, I'm going to bring it to you. And I might bring it to you at a higher intensity level than I normally would if you just attacked me.
So, do you take into account at all that it's his job to commentate and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, but if you commentation goes out the window when you insinuate, say, act, anything like my fatherhood is in question. Because that's one thing Stephen A. did address. He said, I never questioned LeBron James' fatherhood, him as a father. I think he's a great father. We know he's a great father. He said that. So if that never wasn't a thing in question, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't have said it. You would address the issues that LeBron James brought up, and you would have left it at that. So I'm assuming that based off of either LeBron James said it or based off of the conversation, he might have thought that that's what LeBron James thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he said he didn't say nothing. So you didn't rebuttal anything. You didn't say anything in front of him to even give a different narrative to your side.
Nah.
So whatever he said, whatever he felt in that moment is what he believed. Now, your next time talking to him, I don't know, they might have chopped it up on phone or whatever like that, but your next time speaking about it is on TV, and now you're addressing something that he doesn't have the time to say, oh, shit, well, I thought, you know what I mean? Whatever he thought at that moment, that's his truth. That's his fact. And Stephen A., regardless if you're a commentator or not, a reporter or not, an entertainer or not, a face on TV or not,
you ain't about to be talking shit about my kids,
bro. You have to tread lines when you talk about people's kids. Period.
Well, everybody's someone's kid.
Everybody's someone's kid. You're absolutely correct. But when you're
talking
talking about
all of a sudden there's going to be like a dad's group for all the NBA players that he's talking shit about, NFL players.
Ja Morant, what? Nah,
he talked about my son in 1982. Man, he ain't been talking for that long.
Yeah, terrible joke. But no, the protecting the kids is a real thing, man. And you can't tell somebody how to protect their kids when they feel like you harmed them, endangered them, talk bad about them. Shit, you might be fucking up his stock. We don't know what's going on in the Lakers office. They may be sitting up like, hey man, we need to let him go, or we need to pay whatever's going on. You saying this may put my son in a worse position, or hell, I'm sitting at dinner with him. You ain't. Yeah. You don't know what he coming home talking or coming to the house talking about. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, man, am I really doing that bad? Or like, why do people think like, you know what I mean? And it's like, damn, bro, no, you doing good, son. No, let me go holler at Buddy about this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then we not in the in crowd. So the text message Stephen A. sending people when he's sauced up or feeling whatever he feeling, we don't know. I'm pretty sure LeBron James know. He said, oh, Rich Paul can call me. Yeah. So that means y'all got a contact. I don't know what spicy text you might send him. Why LeBron doing this? Or what's going I don't know. Right. I don't know who you, whoever, whatever and NBA analysts that you talk to, what you saying to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that part of things, I never will knock LeBron James for it. I can't knock anybody for standing up for their kids at any point in time in life. Safety of my children is the utmost thing. You know what I'm saying? And somebody harming them, damaging them, putting them in bad situations, whatever, it needs to be addressed at the highest level for me. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that.
Quick question. Let's say you got a newborn baby, right? And you're out at a restaurant. What are you doing if someone flicks your baby off?
A newborn?
Yeah.
Oh, that person has a mental problem. I'm gonna leave that alone.
So the reason I asked is I was listening to I don't know if it was a second date update or some shit that Jubal and Brooke in the Morning or whatever it is. And this lady was out at a restaurant, on the first date with this dude. And she was like, yeah, he just was like, you want to see something cool? She's like, sure. And he turns around and flicks off this baby. And I just started laughing like hysterically. And I started thinking like, what the fuck would I do? And, she was like, okay. And then she like stood up, shook his hand and was like, I walked out of there because obviously he's a psychopath, which is pretty much the same thing you said. But then I started thinking like, what the fuck would I do? if I turned around or if I looked over and I saw this dude just like flicking off my little 6-month-old baby, my baby's just,
That's me, myself, and Irene at the fullest. That dude was a
I don't know.
full-blown psychopath in there. Fucking, what he said, he had schizophrenic
Bro,
rage,
that's
involuntary schizophrenic rage with narcissistic rage, or whatever.
some shit like that. That was
Schizophrenic,
better than I would've done.
involuntary delusions with narcissistic rage or something. Yeah, that dude's a freaking nut, man. I'm not gonna do nothing with that guy. I'm gonna let
He
that
was
guy.
like, I've never known anyone, because they called him afterwards to talk about it or something like that. And he's like, I've never known anyone that didn't think flicking off a baby is funny. It's like, hey, you got to admit, both of us laughed as soon as I said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like
The
what,
thought
but
of it is because it's so ridiculous. Like,
that kid doesn't even know.
and the baby's just, and that's what
Sitting there.
that's his argument. He's like, well, the kid's not going to grow up like traumatized, like, oh my God, in a restaurant, this kid flipped me off. He doesn't even know what it means. He's just laughing.
That's true.
I was like, hey, it's entertainment for everybody.
this guy's a freakazoid, though. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know if I would be like super pissed or if I would see it and immediately start laughing.
Yeah, I would probably, if it was my kid, I would probably just do it back to him. Like if I looked at it,
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's what I'd probably do. And it'd probably be a joke. We'll probably be like,
What's your
whatever.
name?
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of protecting of children,
Yeesh.
we've had a
It's been a rough
wild
ride
situation here in the city. Pretty sure everybody knows what happened. There was a situation that took place at Smith Middle School, and a young lady lost her life. We're not here to talk about that or discuss those because that still has to go through court. And although we may have
much rumors
flying
around,
you know what I mean? Although we may have heard what we think is the truth, and the court sometimes doesn't give all the truth. But
yeah, sometimes they don't get it right either.
I'm not gonna go back and forth about who did what happened, how long, all that type of shit. I'll just say this: condolences to the family,
To everyone involved.
and that's what I say. Condolences to the family, and my prayers go out to both of them too, because somebody took a life, and their life is probably thrown away. You know what I mean, for the rest of their life, and then a life is taken. And as a father, 2, 3 girls, it's not not a situation that I mean, I got 4 kids, but it's not a situation that I would want to be involved. I don't know how I would take that phone call, right? So
I can't imagine.
Prayers go out to both families. Condolences to the family that lost their child. And I brought this up because safety is a big issue. I think the we be seeing on Facebook a lot of people say what should happen, what this failed, and this and that. But I ask this question: as fast as y'all can pass judgment on what K.I.S.D should have did, how this should have played out, what these schools should be doing, do y'all go to PTA meetings? Do y'all go to the school council meetings? Do y'all go to these things to voice your opinions? Because it's a community thing, right? We as a community, if we see something that's an issue, we have to state it out. Now, I heard a lot of people say they stated out issues in, I've voiced opinions. I've said things that within the schools that I think are issues and may not have got addressed, right?
Yeah.
That's another big thing. So I'll say this, and we'll run down. Do you feel like K.I.S.D is safe for kids to go to school?
It don't seem like it.
I say yes. I think that you have more days with kids being safe going to school than you do with them not being safe. I think there's more days without a lockdown than there is days without a lockdown. And I say that to say because of that bullshit press conference that they had.
Yeah,
we'll get into that, but
right.
I say that safety-wise is because that's how they're going to break it down. We've had more days with less incidents than we had days with more incidents.
Okay, so we're going for a 50-50 thing.
No,
or a 51-49 thing.
Whatever
Sorry.
numbers, right? Whatever numbers. We'll just say with that. So I'll say that for that. Do I really think that K.I.S.D is a safe environment? No.
It's just too much stuff going on, man. Too often.
Now, why is that though? Why do you think it's more? Dude, okay, let's go back one. Do you think that the same shit that's going on now was going on when we was in school?
To a lesser extent, of course.
What,
but not as often, I don't think.
So you know, I feel like we fought more.
I didn't regularly hear about, guns being found at school, knives being in the school.
Me either.
Stuff like that. I remember like one time that shit happened, and that was my junior year, I think. And that shit was crazy because he ended up stabbing the officer in like the leg or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That was in the paper.
That shit was nuts.
Yeah.
But outside of that, that was really the only...
How many people you remember getting killed or murdered in school while you was in school?
The first person I ever knew who died was...
No, murdered. Not died.
I've never known anyone to be murdered.
So that's the difference. You know what I mean? So like for me, these kids are at a different level. I'm not about to sit up here. I think it's a responsibility of a child to do the right thing. I think a child needs nurturing.
Rocky keeps
yeah, man. Sorry
hitting
about that,
the camera. Wrong way. There you go. Hey.
Damn. I think it's a few different things. I think kids have a responsibility to do right. I think parents have a responsibility to raise them, and I think the community has a responsibility to keep them in check.
Teachers can't keep kids in check.
Not by themselves, because they spend a little bit of time with them. You spend a lot more time with your kids than the teacher does. Now, granted, day to day.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's so hard for the teachers to do anything because the kids, some of these kids are just so fucking bad. Like, to be honest, well, like, you can't. How's the teacher really gonna get anything done? Like, you can't expect them to. He's trying so hard to knock that camera down. Man. He's like,
you can't expect. So I'll say this: the teachers. I think it's all around, right? Did K.I.S.D fail somewhere within this parameter to allow this situation to happen?
Someone died on campus. It's a failure.
Well, according to them, they didn't die on campus.
Okay, someone gets stabbed on campus and then has, just
a life
happens to be life flighted out and then passes. You know, like, that's still, it's not like, well, it's off our property. So,
but see, that's how they acted, and that's what pissed me off about that fucking press conference. You had that.
Well, the officer couldn't answer anything.
Well, yeah, he can't answer anything about investigation, but he said this. They asked about reporting this information and nothing happens. And he said, my email is a public email, and I haven't got a flood of emails about nothing. Well, sir, gentleman, tatted man, tatted brother, whatever the fuck you are, why the fuck would I email you when I'm talking directly to the fucking school? Who the fuck who knows the contact, the K.I.S.D police officer, fucking chief guy, for some shit that you're contacting the fucking school about?
It's
so miss me with that bullshit. Man.
It's common knowledge to go to the website, sift through all the information for as long as you need to until you find the correct email address, which you'll magically know as soon as you happen upon it. You'll know that that's the email address, and you'll email that person.
Fuck that dude, man. That shit pissed me off.
Man. It's a little. You gotta understand in this.
That's dismissive.
Yeah. In
That's
this day and age, like,
now, granted, he's a cop. My bad to cut you off, but he's a cop. Well, whatever, a pretending cop. I don't know what the fuck you are, and whatever.
I think he's a police officer.
He's.
I think I could be wrong.
I don't think they go through the same training that KPD goes through to become a police officer. I know they get knighted or sworn in or whatever, but whatever. Fuck.
They get knighted? Oh, that's cool.
Sworn or whatever it is. I'm not knocking. Sorry. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or nothing like that. But you can't. I know that there's active investigation. So sometimes when the representative of the police force or whatever comes on board or on a press conference to talk, they can't say shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an active investigation. Yeah. I can't say exactly what y'all asking me, and y'all reporters know. So they're going to try to dig deeper, and they're going to try to get you to say something or commit to something. And I get
some kind of information.
But he can't say everything. But to answer that question that way, I haven't had an influx. But if you're the guy that's in charge of all these violent, or if you're in charge of K.I.S.D. police officers, anytime a police officer gets a weapon, takes something from a kid, drugs, you should know. Them reports are going to hit your desk. There's a database that you should be able to access and see it. Who the fuck is going to call you, sir? That's my only thing. And that's a dickhead comment. Oh, but I haven't had an influx. Fuck you, man.
Out of sight, out of mind, motherfuckers.
You're so high up. That's like saying, man.
As the CEO, no one's emailed me.
Nobody's emailed me about
said
these
our
complaints.
Band-Aids aren't sticking. Like, yeah, seems fine to me. I've never heard.
That's bullshit to me.
So, no, who's going to email you?
Why would they? I'm going to contact my school. The school that my child goes to, the highest that I'm going to go to is the principal. And then guess where I go from there? The district. Not one time do I say I'm going to KISD police.
Yeah, and if it's something like assault or something, then I'm going to the police.
The police department.
You know, so either the school's going to handle it or the police department's going to handle it.
Now, the school should be telling you this information.
Right.
You should have.
You would think that, hey, the head, the chief of police for the school district.
KISD.
Bam.
Hey, boom.
Here's his card. Talk to him.
Boom. You may not, so you send your officers, but you should know this information. And then on side of that, they asked them about the metal detectors. This is where I think we're failing our fucking kids, man. I think we're failing our fucking kids. I'm not about to sit up here and say that because I seen one thing the dude said, they're basically strip searching people at Killeen High School.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all got a problem with that? Y'all got a fucking problem with that?
Yes.
What's the problem with that?
I'm not saying there is a problem. I'm just saying, yes, everyone's got a fucking problem with something.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't appease so y'all got a fucking problem with somebody going through your kid's bag to ensure that because your motherfucking ass may not be doing your job right as a parent at the house, I have to verify that you didn't go through your kid didn't bring some shit from your house. I gotta verify that shit to keep you, me, and everybody in this motherfucker safe. And y'all got a fucking problem with that? We really do. We really got a problem. You know what the problem I had? They took my son's phone. And he missed his bus because he had to go get his phone. That's what I had a problem with. That's it. Y'all can search these motherfuckers. In fact, search these motherfuckers. Yeah, do it. Because I've seen some of these kids. I've seen them. You can miss me with all this bullshit about, y'all don't talk about. We know, I'm not about to say every kid out here that got a mop top or long ass locks on their head or wear hoodies or act a certain type of way as a thug. But I've seen young ass kids walking into a fucking Family Dollar with a pistol on them, hanging out their goddamn pocket. So he's just bullshitting. No, I'm gonna take him for he's serious. He got a gun on him. He'll probably use it. I'm not gonna act like this shit ain't happening. This shit is going on. So to act like somebody's not bringing weapons to school, let's be realistic, brother. How many weapons do you think they find in a year out of 29 high schools in K.I.S.D district?
29 high schools.
29 schools, my
Oh,
bad.
I was about to say, God damn, that's an increase. Shit, I don't know.
Just a random number, whatever you think.
15, 20.
20 weapons, right? 20 weapons. It's not 20. It's more than that. So I'll give you 10, 30. It's not 30. It's more than that. I gave you 10 on the number that you just said. And you're throwing that number out there. Why? Because you're just like, man, just throw it out there, right?
I'm hoping that it wouldn't be too much higher.
79 weapons were found on campuses in K.I.S.D in 1 year, brother.
That's nuts.
79. 79. How many guns do you think? Out of 79, how many guns? Fuck that. How many
8.
knives do you think? Let's just say
I'm going to
knives.
say 8 guns and 22 knives.
Absolutely wrong, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I didn't hit it on the dot.
4 knives or something like that.
4, okay.
But these are 5.5
okay.
or more.
Oh, these are like hunting knives type shit.
Yeah, these are John
Butcher
Bowie,
knives.
Bowie knives. And I think 7 guns.
Jeez. Hey, I said 8 guns. That ain't.
You're close. But the whole point is, this information is public information that they don't put out. You have to go and request, like a FOIA request. You have to go and request this information to get this stats. K.I.S.D ain't putting these stats out. Clean Daily Herald had to go request a FOIA request to get these stats. To find out that out of 29 high schools, 79 weapons was found. 79 weapons was found. That right there should tell you right there, you should have one entrance into the high school every fucking morning. And everybody, teachers, janitors, outside of your officers, everybody's going through that metal detector. And if it sounds off, I got to search you, brother. Period. I'm not about to do you like prisoners and every day we got to search your book bags and shit like that. No, that's what this metal detector is.
You know what the solution to this is? No more homework, and kids have to keep all their books and stuff at home. So are at school. So there's really no need for them to have a book bag. I mean, all the school shit stays at school. They come with nothing but
a lot of their shit is done online. Can't be done online.
I don't want to do online school, and I feel like that takes away from a lot of stuff. Plus, a lot of kids don't really do well with that.
I feel like truancy should be. I feel like regular school, going to school is a normal thing. If you miss so many days of school, it should say, "Hey, congratulations, you just won yourself a homeschool spot." You don't show up to homeschool as many times as you're supposed to, that's when you go to truancy. I think homeschool, because of what's going on in the world, I think homeschool should be pressed, should be pushed. But they can't because they lose money. Because your students not showing up
the guy
for school every day.
The guy that everyone hates in office is trying to change that and get people I think he said $14,000 a year if you do homeschooling.
I personally think that. I don't give a fuck who says it. I'm saying that to save kids' lives. Because obviously, if you're getting bullied, I know people personally in K.I.S.D that child got bullied before. Motherfuckers have to switch schools because they're not doing anything. These motherfuckers then had to put out reports or notes to other teachers because nobody's doing anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm not saying tell your kids to go kick kids' ass. I'm not saying to go do anything. I'm just saying if I'm running to somebody for help and that adult is not helping me, I don't give a fuck if it's your student or not, motherfuckers. You as a student should have that ability to go at least talk to an adult to say, I need help here. And that adult should render help.
All right.
Now, if the process of whatever school or it's some bitch, or whatever school or whatever thing is not working, then then you have to do what you got to do. I do believe in people protecting themselves, right? And I'll say this: you can't tell somebody how to protect themselves. You can't tell somebody if I slap you on your knee and you jump off the couch and double kick me in my face, and I'm like, oh, you went overboard. I can't say that. I should have kept my hands to myself. I shouldn't have hit you, right? But you also nobody. No, I don't. In my honest belief, I don't. I think there's a time and season for everything, but I honestly, logically, can't come up with a reason why a 14-year-old would lose their life or legitimately lose their life. If you ain't breaking in some grown adult's house in the middle of the night, I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what bothers me about a lot of this is, regardless of whatever, like I said, we're not getting to who did what, how, what, whatever. Sympathy, empathy, love, compassion should be shown towards them children. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because if we as a community ain't gonna look out for our people, for our kids, for the future, and I mean we, not as parents, I mean as a school, as a district. If y'all ain't gonna do this, if a motherfucker report something, do something, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying go out your way.
The amount
and
of
just
stories I've seen of people saying, yo, I reported X, Y, and Z to them and they haven't reached back out. And then the comments underneath is, me too, I reported this happened to my son, this happened to my daughter, this happened to my blah, blah, blah.
brother,
And it's just story after story of like nothing happened. They never pressed charges against the kid. Someone was like this kid like hit another kid in the back of the head with like a metal pipe or some shit like that. And still in school. That's been like 6, 7, 8 weeks or some shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's just all kinds of crazy details, and you're like, yo,
bro,
what the fuck are y'all doing?
My daughter found a bullet at Eastern Hills Middle School. They didn't send out a letter. And everybody, oh, well, the bullet, it's useless without a gun. You can miss me with all that, man.
Yeah, just like that lady when I said...
I got bullets right now, and my gun is literally right there.
I said, a gun's useless without bullets. She was like, you could pistol whip someone. I said, well, in that case, anything's a weapon. You could hit someone with a book.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what are you saying? Like,
yeah. And
the whole point is it's still something you don't want to find because you know
that goes to a lethal weapon.
It's like peanut butter and jelly type of thing. You know, one goes with the other. You find one, where's the other?
You're not, and that's what I'm saying. That they're not in the school looking for a broom. So we found a bullet. Somebody got
what could have
caused a push broom. There's a push broom in here. You know what I mean? Like that's not what's going. You're looking
push
for
brooms
a gun
and salt
or
shakers.
more bullets.
That's
you know
what
what I mean.
Is.
So that's where for me, like it annoys me. I'll just say this, man, and we'll get out of here after that. Is pray for the city. Condolences to the family. Praying for the family. Pray for the city for sure because it's a lot of crazy shit going on out here right now. I think our murders. I think we have more murders right now than we've ever had. Or we're at the rate where we're gonna top our top murders in the city. Life flights seems like every week somebody getting life flighted somewhere, whether it's like accidents, whatever. Man, it just seems like shit's getting crazy.
It seems like no one gives a fuck about life no more. Like no respect for other people's lives,
which is crazy, man. Yeah, man, we gotta do better as a community. I know that I love my city. I'm not gonna lie, I love my city, 100%. Yeah, I don't really have the words of encouragement other than we got to do better. Look out for each other, love one another, peace, love, and everything like that to everybody, man. Yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and end. You got anything before we get out of here?
Nah, man, if y'all want, check out KBA Works. Check out Appropriately Offensive. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all watching. Steve Broski. Appreciate Corey coming on, man.
Yeah, of course.
I got a dog and he gets on my fucking nerves.
Another session with the bros.